Hello, my name is XONEVANT. Today is Sunday, September the 28th, and this is your Daily Dose. So it seems that the gaming community is playing a bit of tag these days. If you're unfamiliar with this, what's happening is, somebody will create a video, they'll answer 3 questions in that video, and then they will tag, some other YouTubers. And then obviously those YouTubers, pick up those particular questions, they create a video, they answer the same questions, and then, they tag people that they want to tag. And obviously this just keeps going and going and going. And, I refuse to be the guy who breaks the cycle, who stops the train from moving. So I'm going to go ahead and answer these 3 questions and get into tagging a couple of you guys at the end of the video. Now, I was actually tagged by WeekendGameGuy, very good channel. Definitely check him out. Link to his channel will be in the description below. But he tagged me as well as some other folks that I know. VGM Professor, he's already made his video. I watched that yesterday. So let me go ahead and answer these questions. Hang tight. I'm going to tag a couple of you guys at the end. Let's get this thing started. So the first question is, what video game console would I like to have complete in a box? It's going to be the Atari 2600. And the reason why is because that was the first console that I ever played at home, right? It was the first gaming console that I ever got to experience. I remember we had some snowfall where I lived, which was kind of rare in the area that I lived in. And we were out of school for like a week and a half. And I remember playing that Atari 2600 every single day, man. We couldn't go outside. You see what I'm saying? Luckily enough, we were able to keep our electricity on, right? The snow didn't bother that. So I just played my 2600. I mean, that was what I grew up on. Now, believe it or not, when I was working at GameStop, we had a guy come in one day with the 2600 in a box, but the box was not all that great. It was actually kind of tattered and torn. And obviously GameStop doesn't take those. So I decided to pick it up for myself. So I do have a box, but it's really in bad condition. I do have an Atari 2600. It's not in the best of shape either, but but it does work. But man, if I could go and get a complete boxed Atari 2600 in good condition, that would just be epic. All right, question number 2, what is my favorite potato chip? Interesting question. It's actually going to be barbecue. Love me some barbecue potato chips. Now, I actually haven't had potato chips in a very long time. It's just not something that I buy. It's not in my diet. But, if I'm at a party or something like that and somebody's grilling out and they've got some hot dogs and hamburgers, baby, and they have some potato chips, I hope that it's barbecue sitting there, because I don't know, they're just really good when you eat them with some hot dogs and hamburgers. I really enjoy them. And I'll also say this, and some of you may know this if you've been watching this channel for a while. Back in the day when I used to complete video games, I would always also have on standby some Doritos, baby, some nacho cheese Doritos. I absolutely love those too. So there's my answers for that question. All right, the third and final question is, what was my favorite vacation? This is probably going to sound like a weird kind of answer, but I normally don't take vacations. I'm a workaholic, man. I like working. So I really don't, say to myself, hey, I'm going to take a week off of work and go travel somewhere or something like that. I think when I was at GameStop, I was there for 5.5, 6 years. I took maybe one true week-long vacation, and then I just sat at the house and played games all week. So I really can't say that I take time out of my schedule to actually take a physical vacation. My answer to this is going to sound weird, but I would say that I take vacations all the time. I play video games. You know what I mean? I escape reality all the time. I mean, really, that's what a vacation's about, right? Get away from reality, kind of escape, you know what I mean? Let your mind wander a bit, not think about things, not think about bills, not think about being connected to the internet. I mean, all this stuff, right? Not think about your job. When I play video games, that's exactly what happens to me. I'm able to go to these worlds at will. I can buy a game tomorrow and take a vacation and go to that world and experience what that world has to offer. And then, as soon as I turn the power off to the console, you know what I mean? I'm back from my vacation. I'm back in the real world. So I look at video games that way. So I think video games is my favorite vacation. Now, if I have to put more like a physical spot, to answer this question, I would say Carolina Beach. When I was a kid, my family and I would always go to Carolina Beach. We'd go once a year. We'd stay for 4 days typically. And that was an awesome experience. I mean, obviously, I was really close to my family growing up. But when we took those vacations, I got to see my dad more because he was working all the time. And there would be nights where he would come home and I'd be in bed. I mean, he'd get home pretty late. So even though I was really close to my family growing up, there'd be days sometimes where I didn't even get to see my dad because, like I said, he worked all the time. So when we used to go on these vacations, man, you know, it was like, hey, I got to see him 24 hours a day for 4 or 5 straight days, and it was awesome. And that's also when I got introduced to playing video games at the arcade. Was every time we'd go, you know, to these big trips, because you know we'd have you know, arcades and stuff back where I lived, and you'd find the random arcade at you know, like a 7-Eleven or something like that. But when you went to the beach, dude, there was video games everywhere, lines out the door playing arcades. And that's when I got introduced to games like NBA Jam and Mortal Kombat. I mean, it was trippy, man. So when I look back on my life, those were the times that I really felt like I was actually on a vacation, you know, hanging out with my brother and my family, and those were good times. All right, so now it's my turn to tag some people, baby. Let me look at my list right here. Okay, we're gonna tag gamingarcadiaHD. We're gonna be tagging Dormouse03. Gonna be tagging Griefsy93, toproforugames, and L1 Gaming. That's my 5 right there, man. I'm going deep, going 5 deep, son. I'm tagging you guys, answer those questions, make a video. Let's keep this thing going, and hopefully you guys have enjoyed today's show. I'll see you right back here tomorrow. Be good.